I'm up here at the middle fork of the Stanislaus River. This used to be a super lush forest, but a few years ago a fire came through, wiped it out. But there's still a lot of trees. It's just one section. It happens. I'm gonna fish this river though. Oh, the river's still flowing pretty high, but not that bad. That hole down there looks pretty good. I should probably fish that hole. That looks really good. I always go upstream. When I was a kid, my dad and my grandpa and anybody who were camping, we used to camp upstream up here at Dartnell campground. And it was always better on the other side, on this side. So we come down and park our vehicles right here and hike up the river. I kind of want to go upstream just because I haven't been up there in a long time. I can remember some of the spots. It all looks pretty good. It's a lot different when the trees all burnt. It used to be real narrow. It was all a thick forest. A lot of it's gone. That's the way it goes. Forest fires. Wonder how that tree made it. These trees right here at the bridge seem to have made it. Farther up, the fire didn't get too much along the river, but there's a few mile stretch here that just wiped it out. That hill up there, pretty much scorched earth. This is the way to Clark's Fork, another campground. This hole down here looks really good. I wonder if I should try it. It's worth it to walk down there. I really want to go upstream, but well, I hope they're bigger than this. That's a little German brown. I don't think they plant them that small, so he's probably a native. He's not very big. See it right there. There's another guy. See the red spots? You can see the red spots there. Little German brown. It's a native. This is a cool looking spot right here. I'm gonna catch one right here. I'm positive. The way the river comes down. They really don't have anywhere to rest all through there. And then they get to this one spot right here. There's gonna be some fishing here. Well, that other hole all I caught was a couple little tiny ones, not even worth getting my phone out. And here's another one. I've saw this happen before, and it's not a good sign. You just keep catching these little ones like this in these really good holes. That means there's no big ones in there, because those little ones would be they'd be hanging out behind these little rocks and stuff, because the big one would be taking over this hole. I've already caught like 6 of those little fuckers. Look at this. Found an arrow. An aluminum arrow, but that's nothing you'd hunt a deer with. I don't know why that's here. Well, I'll keep trying a little bit. I've gone back a little bit more upstream. I guess I gotta find some better holes. I don't know. If I can catch these little ones, I'm just gonna go somewhere else. Well, I could probably catch another little one right there, but I think I gotta walk up quite a bit farther to get to where it's really good. It's already pretty late today. You know, when I used to come here with my grandpa and my dad, we never really fished this section. I'm sure my grandpa did, but other years. They would always walk. We'd walk like a mile, half a mile when I was young, so it seemed like a long way. This must be why there's a lot of these little tiny pocket holes. They're not really holding any big fish right now. Just about every good spot, like right there. I could probably catch one of those little ones. There might be a big one, but I've already caught like 10 of those little suckers. They don't really excite me. If I was a fly fisherman, I'd probably be happy, but I'm not into that. So I'm gonna go back to the bike. I might go over to the Clark's Fork side. I only have about an hour, and then I gotta get out of here. Walking back reminds me of a story. See, we always used to park where I parked my bike, and we'd be camping on the other side, but this side was always much better. And so we'd park down here and we'd walk up when we were here fishing, and it was always good. See, my uncle drowned in this river back in 1986 because one of the guys that was camping with him, and my grandpa was here, and I wasn't here on this trip, but they come up with a plan to, one of the guys went up this side and then they tied ropes on the trees, and then so they could go back and forth from the campground that's down there at Dardanelles, or up there, and then they would use the pulley system, you know, it would take them across the river. So they'd been across the river fishing, and they were going back, and my uncle fell out of the raft he was in, and he drowned. And they found him down here somewhere where I was just at. But the story I was going to tell you was about a year before that. My uncle that drowned, they'd been up here, and I had been up here too, but we had already gotten back. And then he was coming out with some other guy, and this old lady was up here walking, and he thought she was spooky looking. Like, it was kind of odd to see an old lady way back here. And you got to remember, this was, all these trees were all forest. It was thick, so it was just a little trail. And that old lady said, "Have you seen my son?" "I haven't seen him. He came up here fishing." And of course my uncle hadn't, but it kind of spooked him out. So when he came back from camp, he told us about that there was a lost kid up here, but nobody ever heard anything more about it. Like, nobody was looking for anybody, and they looked a little bit with the lady, but they came back, and it was kind of a trip. And then a year later, he ends up drowning here. I just thought that was, it's always been kind of a spooky story. At the time, it didn't mean anything, but after he drowned, we all remembered. It was weird. So yeah, this looked a lot different though. Imagine all these trees, all big green. Well, I've been to the place where there's no people, and so I figured I'd go where all the tourists go. We're here at Pinecrest. Of course, there's car alarms going off. They're trying to get in their car, and they can't figure out how to shut their car alarm off. Anyway, this is Pinecrest Lake. It's a pretty popular lake. It's full of fish. They plant it. Come here and catch a bunch of fish anywhere. Just cast out and you'll catch some fish. You got boats out there, kayaks. Nice beach though. Main beach is on the other side of those trees. I like it over here better. It's shady. There's a guy out there swimming. He's swimming along. Let's see. Set my beer down. This water's ice cold. Oh, he's dying. I better get out of here before I have to save him.